So welcome everybody. Feels like a while since we've been on the mat together. And there's been a few different requests come in tonight for themes. So we've had shoulders and hips from one person, from Peggy, and lower back and feet. Is that right, Linda? Yeah. So we're going to touch upon all those parts, but my personal feeling, how the kind of overarching theme that will weave all of that through, was just two things really. And the Easter weekend, you may or may not have been celebrating it, but it can be a time of overindulgence. So I thought just a little bit of that kind of cleansing detox vibe. And also just whenever there's a big weekend, a bank holiday weekend, a celebratory weekend, it can be lovely but quite uncentering. So I know for me it's always really nice after a lot of people like I've just had to just have a centering practice. So centering, detoxing, and actually with that theme, pretty much full body. Okay, so I thought we'd start lying on our backs today. And if you've got a block or a bolster and you want to turn this into a heart opener, then that's up to you. All my props aren't with me today, but I'm going to modify with a folded blanket and make that into my kind of block bolster alternative. So if you don't want to do that, if you'd rather just lie on your back for more kind of grounding quality, then just skip the heart opener. But either a bolster lying up the spine or a block or block alternative, like I'm using underneath the shoulder blades, so beneath the chest, the head dropping back. And if you need extra support under the head, that's fine. So you can choose any position with your legs. I'm personally going to choose Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees wide, for this real sense of spaciousness around the belly, which is our centering area. So we'll just start with a bit of grounding, centering, coming back to ourselves. So settle yourself into your shape, your chosen starting shape. If in doubt, Shavasana, or lying down, knees bent. And just have a sense of arriving. So notice what kind of percentage of you feels here already? Do you feel very scattered? Are there still parts of your mind involved in things you've been dealing with today? Does your body feel fully here? Or are there parts of the body that are not easy to connect with? Just do a little body scan. So where is your mind? How is your body? How is your energy? Have you been giving a lot, putting out a lot these last few days? Is there a sense of depletion? Or are you full of energy? Just noticing. Wherever our energy is at, it never hurts to put into the tank, to put energy into the tank. And maybe there's an emotional landscape that's with you this evening. Maybe buoyant, happy, glowing, vibrant. Maybe the opposite, maybe flat, sad. Or maybe stressed, anxious, just observing. And maybe there's nothing to discern, nothing particular. That's fine too. And just check your face is relaxed. There's a sense of becoming heavy. So we've been here for a minute or so, a couple of minutes probably now. So enough time if we're using props to start to drop into the support of the props, or just the support of the floor if we're not using props. So a real sense of heavying the body. Relaxing the body, releasing the body. And then let's just take some nice belly breaths. Up to you if you want to actually place the hands on the belly or just send your awareness there. But just take some nice, slow, deep breaths, accentuating the movement of breath in the belly. So that should feel like an expansive opening feeling as you inhale, the belly lifts and rises. And then a sinking in as you exhale. And then turning this into more of an oceanic breath, where we start with that belly expansion, but we feel the breath rise up through the torso. So expanding belly, then rib cage, and finally upper chest, like a wave, and then exhaling, sinking the chest, then the rib cage, then finally the belly. So just feel that journey of the breath traveling up and down your torso like a wave, opening each part, each third, as it were, of the torso, but smoothly in one continuum, and then closing it back down in the opposite order as you exhale. And then if you wish for the last breath or so, you can stretch the arms overhead. So we've had a request for shoulders, so starting to feel the stretch into the shoulders. If that's too much though, keep the hands on the floor. And then on an exhale, releasing the hands back to the sides. I'm going to slowly roll to one side. So if you've got the knees wide, bring one knee up to the ceiling, roll over to one side, and then slowly press yourself up to seated. And if anybody can't hear me well enough, then do say at this point, because I'm further away than usual. Okay, so let's come to a comfortable seated position. And just with some of you might have been in a back bend just then, so just giving yourselves a moment to just let the spine come back to neutral. Connecting with your breath, feeling that grounding again, but this time through the base of the pelvis and the legs, connecting with the floor. Awareness in your center, your womb space, or the lower belly, or deep in the pelvic bowl, this kind of area of the body, the sacrum. And we're just going to start to mobilize and open the shoulders. So when you're ready, we're going to stretch the arms out wide, fingertips to fingertips, maybe even bringing the hands behind you. And then turn the palms to face up and just bring the fingers up towards the ceiling. So we're actually stretching the wrists whilst activating the shoulders. So it's as though you're holding a big long parcel. Your palms are facing each other, fingers pointing up. We're stretching the outer wrist. And then do the opposite, stretch the fingers down towards the ceiling, stretching the inner wrist and the forearms. And then we're going to turn the hands the other way. So now the palms are down. Bring the fingers up. So the inner wrist again, like we just did. Send the fingertips down. Stretching the outer wrist. And then just move between the two positions a few times. Flexing, opening the wrist. You might start to feel heat building in the shoulders. This is a good thing. Okay, and then again, that stretching fingertip to fingertip. And then just bring your hands onto your shoulders, and we're going to start to make big circles with the elbows. So see if you can even bring the elbows to touch in front of you. And they're not going to touch behind you, but as close towards each other as possible. They might not touch in front of you, but just drawing as big a circle as possible with your elbows to really get into the shoulder joint, keeping your fingertips and thumb lightly touching the shoulder as you go. Noticing any kind of tight spots, numb spots, grindy, clicky bits. Just being mindful of these, don't rush through them. And change direction, take the circles the other way. Exploring the range of mobility. Shoulders can move up, back, down, and forward. And then just release the hands to the legs for a moment. And bring the hands out in front and cross the left in front of, on top of the right, and hold onto your opposite shoulder and drop the head. Feeling that stretch into the back of the neck, really possibly sealing the chin towards the chest for Jalandhara Bandha. Maybe adding Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha if you know them. And then lifting the chin, so you can just stay with that previous one, or wrap the forearms, wrap the hands, lift the elbows up in line with the shoulders, press the hands forward, maybe closing the eyes, but really using your breath to open the upper back, shoulders here. And then we're just going to, if you're in the wrap, we're going to take the elbows over to the right and look over the left shoulder for a little bit of a twist. If you're holding the opposite shoulders, you can just ever so gently twist to the right too, but it's not going to be far. Don't force that. Come back to the center, release, move the shoulders if you need, and then other side. Bring the right elbow on top of left, and for a moment at least hold the opposite shoulder. Really try to draw the chin in towards the chest, stretching the back of the neck. Only the head is moving here. Possibly Jalandhara Bandha, the chin lock, other locks. Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha. Deep breath. And then lifting the gaze if you're coming into stage 2, which is Garudasana, arms, elbows in line with shoulders, hands pressed forward. And then whether you stayed in the first position or moved into Garudasana, just be with those big inhales all the way up to the upper back, expanding the shoulders, shoulder blades. And then we can just take the elbows over to the left and look over the right. So just be mindful here, it's a twist, use your core support to make this safer for your back. Don't go too far. If you are in the first position, just ever so gently twisting to the left slightly. Inhale back to the center, release. Move the shoulders a little bit if you need, in the neck. Opening, feeling the sense of freeing and opening the chest and upper back. Just take a couple of breaths, breathe that through. And then we can take the right arm up, drop the fingertips down the spine, left fingertips on the front of the elbow, pull up, push down, stay here for a couple of breaths, really focusing on broad open armpits to the front, lower belly drawing in, dropping tailbone. Maybe we add the other hand, so left hand out to the side, palm facing behind you, elbow comes close to the side, and we wriggle the fingers up the spine. And find a strap or your material of your top will meet maybe your fingertips. Still keeping that right armpit open and keeping the chin lifted. Keep the navel drawing in. Or you're just staying in the first position, left fingertips on right front of elbow. But again, be with your breath. Maybe closing the eyes if that helps you tune in to the areas being opened here. Be kind to your body. Don't force. That just jangles the nervous system and causes the body to contract. We want to be open. And then release. Move the shoulders if you need. And then the other side. So raising the left arm, drop the fingertips down the spine. Starting with the first position, right fingertips on the front of the elbow, pull up slightly and push down, keeping both armpits open to the front. Check you're not overarching the lower back. Draw the lower belly in. Deep breaths, still grounding through the pelvis here, the legs connecting to the floor, maybe adding the right arm out to the side, palm faces behind you, bring that elbow close in, and then just see what bind is available here, if any. Keeping left armpit open, chin lifted, belly in, deep breaths. And don't force, stay with that first position if it's enough. And then release. Just move the shoulders. So before we come out of seated, just moving into the hips and lower back, just start to take the hands forward as far as is right for you. Drop the head and just take some deep breaths into the back of the body, but really feel that sense of grounding, rooting through the pelvis here, back rim of the pelvis on the floor. And then And sliding the hands back in. We'll just do one round of kapalabhati. We'll revisit kapalabhati in the practice just to get this cleansing, detoxifying aspect in as well. So I think you all know it, but it's that drawing in of the deep abdominals in and up, which forces the air out through the nose. So it's all about the exhalation, the forced exhalation, and the inhale just happens through the nose as a consequence. So go at your own pace. You don't have to follow me, and we'll just go for 30 seconds or so. So in your own time, off you go. You can take first finger to thumb mudra or root of thumb mudra if you wish. Relax the shoulders, just the belly is pumping. Just keep going a little bit longer if you can. Stop if you need though. Relax your belly. belly. Close your eyes and take your inner gaze to the space between your eyebrows. So this is a cleansing practice for the body, the physical body, the respiratory system, the digestive system, but also the mind. Cleansing, clearing the mind. When you feel ready, we're going to meet on our hands and knees. So just make your way there. And place your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. And let's mobilize lower back, hips, and spine. So inhale, lift the tailbone. Draw the shoulders back, looking up to your eyebrows. And exhale, tailbone under. Stretch the upper back to the ceiling, chin to chest. Flowing between the positions. And at the end of your next exhale, just come to neutral. We're just going to stamp the right foot out behind us. So we're on the ball of the foot. The heel is pressing to the wall behind us. I'm just going to take that little stretch for a moment, getting right into the base of the calf and the Achilles tendon. And then we can just lift up the foot and bring it to the left, so to the left side of your right foot. And just look over your left shoulder. So there's a strong contraction in your left side now, but hopefully you feel some kind of stretch around the outer right hip, maybe into the side body. And then looking to the front, just carefully bringing that foot back in. Stretch the left foot out onto the ball of the foot, stretching the fascia of the feet. We've had a request for foot focus this evening as well. So feeling that as a stretch on the foot, pressing the heel back, sorry. And then lifting that left foot, taking it over to the right, still on the ball of the foot. So it's to the right of your to the right of your right leg, and look over your right shoulder. So you should be able to see your left foot maybe. Feel the stretch in the outer left hip. And traction on the right side. And then slowly, carefully, just bring that left foot back. We're going to come into downward dog. So just have your hands slightly in front of the shoulders and tuck the toes and lift the hips. And stretch those hips up and back and really just activate the toes here, spread the toes. Let's have lots of foot awareness, but also hand awareness, spreading and opening the fingertips here. But we'll just walk the feet out. So just do it in a particular way. Really stretch the ball of the foot by lifting a heel high as you press the opposite heel down. And just hold for maybe a breath and then swap sides. So quality rather than quantity. Stretching the ball of the other foot, pressing the opposite heel down. And just do that one more time on each side. So a bit slower. We're not just walking it out. We're slowing it down, doing it as a foot stretch, foot fascia stretch. And then both heels stretch down. And just take kapalabhati again, just maybe just 10 times. If it feels too weird for you doing it in downward dog, you can skip this. And then looking forward, we're going to just step the right foot towards the hands and lower the left knee down and start to open the front of that left hip. So just keep the fingertips on the floor for a moment. Looking forward, opening that left hip. And then planting the hands, tuck the back toe under. I'm going to take some twists today for detoxing. So bring your right hand onto the right hip, turn to the right, maybe stretch the right hand up, drawing the lower belly back to the spine. Strong in the back leg. Exhale that right hand down. Use blocks if you need. We're just going to take the hips back, and you can lift the toes of the right foot up and fold over the right shin. So if the floor is too far away, hands on blocks, or you might have to take your hands onto the shin here, but it becomes a trickier balance. So if it's too much, skip this one. Bring that sole back down, plant the hands, step back to downward dog. And you have a choice here. You can stay in downward dog, maybe walking the feet out again, or you can stretch both feet by coming into the plank on the balls of the feet and exhale to lower. Inhale to back bend, exhale downward dog. So optional vinyasa here. Back into downward dog with a foot focus and 10 kapalabhati. And feeling the belly pumping. At the end of your turn, step the left foot forward, lower the right knee, keep the fingertips on the floor for now as we draw the shoulders back, opening the front of that right hip. And then tuck the back toe under, so we're back on the ball of that right foot, lifting the knee. Right hand comes down, left hand onto left hip or up towards the ceiling. Drawing the lower belly back to the spine, strong in the back leg. A low lunge twist here. And then exhale, release that left hand down. If this one isn't for you, skip it. We're going to try to straighten that front leg as best we can, lift the toes and fold over the front shin for a version of Parsvottanasana, the pyramid pose. Place that left foot back down, plant the hands. Again, come straight back to downward dog or child's pose and do some foot walks maybe, or coming to the plank, stretching both feet, lowering on an exhale, inhaling to a back bend, exhaling to the downward dog. Just taking a breath here. And then from here, we're going to look forward. And actually, we'll just lower the knees for a moment because I want to slot in a foot stretch. And so we've still got the toes tucked under. We're on our knees and we're walking our hands back to our knees and we're coming up to the toe cruncher. So we bring our weight as close to upright as possible. If we need to keep the fingertips on the floor and stay forward, that's fine, or hands on the knees leaning forward. But as best we can, we come towards vertical. Staying for maybe another 4 or so breaths here. Breathe into the intensity. One more deep breath. And then slowly coming off. So bring the hands forward, gently lifting the feet, coming onto the toenails, the tops of the feet, sinking the hips back onto the heels. This, for some people, is enough. This is already a stretch for the feet, just kneeling. But if you can, take the fingertips behind you and lift the knees and stretch the front of the feet. We're opening the feet. And then lowering the knees back down, slide the hands forward, tuck the toes. You're probably going to feel your feet a bit more this time. Coming into downward dog, maybe just one more time, that toe stretch, pressing the opposite heel down. And then at the end of the exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump the feet to the hands. Inhale, look up, maybe hands on the shins. Exhale, lower the head. Inhale, raise the hands above the head, reach and stretch. And exhale, Tadasana. Let's take a moment in Tadasana. Again, just that centering, grounding theme, just weaving it through the class. So feel your feet connecting to the floor. So we really feel embodied. We know where we are on the earth. We feel grounded in our body, connected to our center, aware of what's ours and what's not ours. We're just going to do some half salutations, and then we'll move from there. Okay, so from Tadasana, we take an inhale and raise the hands looking up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees if you need. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold again, drop the head. Inhale, press through the feet, stay connected to the feet as you raise the hands and look up, so still grounding, and exhale, hands to the sides. So 2 more times like that. So really keep awareness in the feet. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen spine. Exhale, dropping the head. Inhale, raise the hands above the head, reach and stretch. Stay connected to the feet, and exhale, hands to the side. Feel rooted like a mountain. 1 more, inhaling up. Feel the feet. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, dropping the head again. Rest the feet. Stay connected in the feet as you raise the hands, look up. And exhale, hands to the side. Just pause for a moment, like the mountain that this posture emulates, feeling your feet spreading broad, connected. Okay, so we'll just turn this into a full salutation with some hip and lower back variations. Inhale, raising the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen spine. Exhale, step right foot back and lower the knee. So we're back in this Anjaneyasana, but this time we're going to inhale, raise the hands into the full position. Unless you want to keep the hands on the floor, that's fine. Taking some slow, deep breaths, just 2 or 3. And then exhale, lowering the hands, come into that half split. So come onto the toes, sorry, the heel of the left foot, walk the hands back and fold over that left shin. Opening up these tight muscles in the body is inherently detoxifying, letting the stagnant energy move again. Bringing the hands and the feet back down, tuck the back toe under, step the left foot back, stay here, or take child's pose, or if you want a vinyasa between sides, inhale to the plank, exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend, exhale, downward dog. Taking a breath or 2, feel the toes opening, expanding, feet active. And then we're going to step the right foot forward, bring the left knee down. You can keep the toes tucked under to stretch the feet today. Raise the hands if you wish. Anjaneyasana on the other side. Feet up. All forward. Exhale, release the hands, come onto the heel of the right foot, walk the hands back, fold over the front shin, toes to the shin. Opening up the back of the right leg. And then bring the right foot down, tuck the back toe under, inhale, step left foot to join right and look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raising the hands, reach and stretch to keep your awareness in the feet. Exhale, hands to the side. Okay, inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, left foot's coming back. Stay on the ball of the foot, back into that low lunge position. But from here, we're going to really fire up our core, draw the belly to the spine, and then see if you can raise the hands. So a long line from left heel to fingertips, feeling the fire in the right thigh here. We're on the ball of the back foot, so we're stretching the back foot. Exhale, release the hands down. Right foot joins left. Take child's pose or downward dog, or inhale to our plank or tabletop. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward dog. So these vinyasas can be very detoxifying if we wish, if we have the energy to move. Otherwise, just hold the postures. So coming to the other side. I'm going to step the left foot forward, keep on the ball of the back foot, fire up the core here, so draw the lower belly up to the spine, and then raise the hands. We've got our left knee above the left ankle or behind, not in front. And we're drawing a long line from right heel to fingertips. Keep that lower belly drawing in, building a bit of fire. Exhale, release the hands down. Inhale, right foot joins left, look up and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raise the hands above the head, keep connected to the feet as you look up. Exhale, hands to the side. Take a moment. Okay, for the next 2 rounds, the final 2 rounds, we'll start in Utkatasana. So bending the knees, take the fingertips to the floor, lowering the hips. Inhale, raising the hands, keeping the hips lowered. Exhale, take the hands forward and then lift the hips and fold in. Inhale, look up and lengthen the spine. Exhale, right foot comes back first. Left knee stays above ankle, and inhale, raise the hands up to the high lunge. Firing up the back leg, back buttock, glute, opening the front of the hip. You can look forward, or if the balance allows, looking up. And we're going to take a twist here, detoxifying twist. So either right hand to the outside of the left thigh or right elbow palms together. Keep strong in the back leg. You can bring that back knee down if you need, no problem. Otherwise, very strong. Breathing as deeply as you can. And then inhale, turn to the front, plant the hands. Left foot joins right to plank or downward dog, or take child's pose. Otherwise, we're exhaling to lower. Inhaling for our back bend. Exhaling back. And just take a couple of breaths. And then looking forward, we're going to step the right foot forward, right knee above ankle. We're on the ball of the back foot. Inhale, raise the hands to the high lunge. And the other side, on the ball of that left foot. Strong in the back leg, looking up or forwards. Big breath into the chest here. Take it into a twist, left hand to the outside of right thigh or left elbow, palms together. Find your core connection, navel to spine. If you're keeping the back knee off the floor, then really strong in the back leg and buttock. Breathe deep. Inhale, turn to the front. Exhale, plant the hands. Inhale, left foot joins right and we look up to lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold in. Utkatasana, bend the knees, sink the hips. Inhale, raise the hands, keeping the hips low. Exhale, straighten the legs, hands to the side. Just take a moment, feel the feet. We've got one more round, leading with the left this time. So again, Utkatasana to start. So when you're ready, bend the knees, sink the hips, fingertips towards the floor. Inhale, we raise the hands, keeping the hips low. Exhale, forward fold, hands down, lift the hips, forward fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, left foot back first this time, and plant the back foot on the floor, toes in front of the heel. Bend the front knee, and inhale, raise the hands into Virabhadrasana 1. So right knee is above or behind right ankle. Palms can be together or shoulder width apart. We can be looking forward or up. Hips trying to face forward, but listen to your back knee. We're going to open this up to warrior 2. So spin the hands open to face the wide edge, the long edge of the mat. You might need to slightly adjust the legs to make sure that right knee stays above or behind the right ankle, and look forward over your middle right finger. Reverse warrior, left hand to left leg, right hand reaches back, opening the right side. A couple of deep breaths. And then inhale back, turn to the front. Exhale, plant the hand, step right foot back to join left, take downward dog or vinyasa, or inhale to plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale to back bend. Exhale to downward dog. Just a couple of breaths between sides. And then from here, we're going to turn the right heel in and step the left foot forward. So left foot comes between the hands and the back foot is planted, toes in front of the heel. Keep a bend on the front leg as you inhale, reach the hands up for Virabhadrasana 1. Palms together, all shoulder width apart, hips facing forward. Really pressing back through the right heel, grounding through the feet. Deep breaths. And then spinning to open to warrior 2. So turn to face the other long edge of the mat. Adjust the legs if you need. Just take a look at your left knee. Check it's above or slightly behind the ankle. Looking forward over that middle left finger. And then right hand to right leg. Inhale, reach the left arm up, maybe back. Reverse warrior. Inhale, taking it back up. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step the right foot. Oh no, sorry. Step the right foot to join the left at the front of the mat and look up. Exhale, fold. Utkatasana, sink the hips, bend the knees. Inhale, raise the hands, looking up to the hands, and then exhale, straighten the legs, hands back to the side. And just take a moment, let the heart rate settle. Feel your feet opening, spreading, connecting to the earth. Awareness at your center. Feel the energy starting to move through your body more freely. And then when you're ready, we're going to turn to open to the long edge of the mat. Come to a nice wide stance with the outer edges of the feet parallel, the toes pointing forward. Bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Use a block if you need to bring the hands to the floor, or a block and just drop the head, crown of the head towards the floor, neck long, shoulders moving up, away from the ears, back towards the waist. Feet active, legs strong. I'm going to turn this into a twist. So inhale, straighten the arms, look up. Bring the right hand directly below the face. Take the left hand onto the lower back. Start to draw the left shoulder back and look up. Maybe raising the left hand. Keep drawing the belly in towards the spine. Try not to completely drop into that right hip. Try and kind of slightly push it up so that we get more into the upper back here. Keeping the lower back more level. And then exhale, release that left hand down. Right hand comes onto the lower back. Turn to face the right. Keep that left hip lifting up. And maybe raise the right hand. When we're trying to keep the lower back level, it's going to be harder to stack the shoulders and raise the right arm. This is normal. It's a good sign. So it's fine if it's sticking out to the side more than upright. Exhale, release that right hand down. Bring the hands to the hips. Take a bend in the knee if you need. Connect to your core and inhale, come up. Open the hands wide. We're going to come forward again. It's moving back into our shoulder focus. So interlace the hands behind you. Knuckles pointing away from you, behind you. Inhale, lift the hands and look up, opening the chest. Exhale, we come forward again. This time bringing the hands up, maybe forward if we're more open. If you're very open, try to press the palms together. Feel this is a big opening in the shoulders, freeing the lower back. Be strong in the legs, strong in the core, active in the feet. And then inhale, raising yourself up, leading with your knuckles, open the hands wide. Exhale, hands to the side, and just take a moment. If you feel dizzy at all, just give yourself a moment to come back. Great. And then turning to the front, a big step to the front of the mat. And we're going to do the tree balance because it's one of the best grounding, centering balances that we have in the yoga kit bag. So balancing on the left foot, taking a steady gaze. Left hand can be on the hip as we pick up the right foot and then place it on the inner thigh or inner calf and bring the palms together. We're going to inhale, take the hands up through the center line of the body. Exhale, open the hands wider than the shoulders and just keep your gaze steady here. Shoulder blades drawing down the spine. Stay connected to your center. You're grounding through that left foot. Keep the left toes spreading and open. Option, if you feel quite balanced, bring the left upper arm close to the ear and the right back of the hand on the inner right thigh. Inhale, stretch up through the left hand, and exhale, slightly lean over to the right, creating this crescent moon shape between the palms, between the arms, and getting that lovely detoxifying stretch down the left side. Inhale, coming up, palms touch above the head. Exhale, hands down the center line of the body to the chest. Inhaling. And exhale, right foot joins left. Release the hands. Take a moment, both feet on the floor, maybe closing the eyes. Just really, how quickly can we come back to our center and our grounding? Feel our awareness in our feet, in our lower belly. And then opening the eyes, connecting to your right standing leg and foot as we pick up the left foot, place it onto the inner right thigh or calf, not the knee joint, and bring the palms to touch at the center of the chest. And then inhale, raise the hands up through the center line of the body. Exhale, open. Shoulders drawing down away from the ears. I'm out of space here. I'm cheating. And keep that steady gaze, steady breath, steady gaze. Feel your right foot. Be aware of your right foot. Be aware of your belly. Drawing the navel in. Option, we can bring that right upper arm close to the ear, bring the back of the left hand to touch the inner left thigh. Inhale, stretch up through right fingertips. Exhale, leaning over to the left. So it's a lovely, graceful, kind of archy or half moon feeling. And we feel that connection between the right foot grounding down and the right fingertips reaching away, stretching the right side. Inhale, bring left hand to join right above the head. Exhale, hands down the center line of the body back to the chest. Inhale here. And exhale, release. Bring the hands down. Okay, taking a moment. Both feet on the floor, maybe closing the eyes. And then we're going to start to come down towards the floor. We will take Malasana squat and we'll take a twisted version. So take your feet mat distance apart with the toes pointing out and bring the hands to the center of the chest. Inhale, and as you exhale, start to bend the knees. And if you can only go halfway, just put your elbows on your thighs wherever you can get to. Otherwise, we're coming all the way down. And we're, if possible, keeping the hands together at the center of the chest, or hands can come to support on the floor, lifting up through the spine. So if we're halfway down with the elbows on the knees, we're just lifting through the spine here and we're staying here. You can also stay here in Malasana squat. Otherwise, option, we can extend the left arm or kind of beyond the left foot, the left hand beyond the foot. The upper arm stays inside the left knee and reach the right hand up. So we're coming into a detoxifying spinal twist where we get a spinal twist and a hip opener. I always feel is extra detoxifying. So perhaps you can feel that in your own body here. Exhale, release that right hand, making sure the right arm is inside the right thigh. We take the hand beyond the foot, and then take the left hand up, looking up to the left hand. So if this feels inappropriate for your lower back or anywhere else, just stay in Malasana squat or come out whenever you need. And then exhale, release that hand down. We're just going to take the hands behind us to support us as we come down onto the floor. And just take the legs out in front. We're going to come to Dandasana. I'm going to revisit Kapalabhati. So for Dandasana, the legs are active, the toes are pointing up to the ceiling, hands either side of the hips, shoulders move up, back and down. We're working with Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, so we're lifting on the pelvic floor, we're scooping the lower belly in and up, and we're drawing the chin towards the chest. You can just stay here working with the Mahabandha, or we can add Kapalabhati, maybe about 20. And when you've done 20 or so, just lifting the gaze, use an inhale to stretch the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, bending the knees if you need, just letting the hands come to meet whatever they meet here. Maybe that extra inhale to lengthen out of the lower back, and exhale, drop the head.
Relax the jaw and the shoulders, but keep the belly drawing in, the front body contracted, the front legs contracted, the front feet contracted, toes to the ceiling. So it's an active stretch. Deep breaths. And then inhale, coming up, lifting the head up last. And we'll come into the front body opener. So we bring the hands behind us, maybe 10 centimeters or so. If you want to make this a bit easier, bend the legs, bring the feet in a bit. And then we inhale, lift the hips, either with the knees bent into upward tabletop as I'm doing here, possibly dropping the head all the way back, or we've got our legs outstretched and we're in Purusvartanasana, trying to bring the big toes towards the floor. And dropping the head back if it feels okay. Press through the hands, lift, 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 and then exhale, slowly lower the hips down, bringing the spine back up to neutral. So we're going to come to an option here. You can just come to Janu Sirsasana, bringing the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh, knee to the side. But because we've got a bit of a hips and foot focus, we could try half lotus for those of you for whom it's safe to do so. So you really have to tune into your knee, because if the hip's tight, it's going to transfer, the strain is going to transfer to the knee, and we do not want to hurt the knee joint. So what we can do, I move my calf out of the way, so I've got meaty calves, because you want to really seal the knee joint fully. So we really seal that knee joint. And then holding the foot, we can just swing the hip in, keeping that knee joint fully sealed, and see, does our right foot come onto the top of the left thigh, as high up the thigh as possible, eventually into the hip crease? And is that knee close to the ground? If the knee is very lifted, it's probably not appropriate for you, or definitely not appropriate to go forward. This is a big stretch on the foot. You may feel that. So if this isn't appropriate, Janu Sirsasana. Okay, if you're comfortably in the bind, you can try the half lotus, you can try the bind, where I'm taking my right hand around the back and I'm finding my toe with my right hand. You could also use a strap around the foot and hold the strap if you can't find the foot. Okay, so optional. And then it might be that you just stay upright. This is enough. Otherwise, the final part of this, whether you're in Janu Sirsasana or half lotus bound, is to fold forward, but only if that knee is okay. So I'm doing a lot of talking, I know, but it's because it's really important that we don't rush our way into half lotus. There's no rush, no force. Janu Sirsasana prepares us for half lotus. So whichever option you're in, one more deep breath here. Inhaling to come up. We're going to slowly release if we're in half lotus, coming back to the Janu Sirsasana. Stay in Janu Sirsasana if you're there. Take the right hand behind you into the center of the mat, 20 centimeters or so, fingertips point back. Press through right hand, lift the hips up, reach the left hand back, and spiral your chest up towards the ceiling. Big front body opener. And then exhale, lowering everything back down. We'll take a twist while we're here, spiraling to bring your right hand to the outside of the left leg, or maybe out to the outside of the left foot. Right hand behind you, or possibly reaching for your right thigh. Wringing the spine out like a flannel, detoxifying. Breathe deep. And then unwind, come back to the center. And finally, Parivriti Janu Sirsasana, there's an option here, again, if it's okay for your body, to switch your foot. So instead of Janu Sirsasana, you bring the foot behind you and you're on the top of the foot with the sole of the foot pointing up to the ceiling behind the buttock. So you're not sitting on the heel. Again, any doubts, stay in Janu Sirsasana. We're going to bring the left hand onto the left shin or thigh, or elbow in front of the knee, holding the foot if you're more open. Bring the right hand up, revolve the chest, so look up towards the ceiling, open the chest to the ceiling, and then maybe start to bring that right hand over towards the left a little bit. If you're quite deep here, you might even be able to slide the left hand underneath the right thigh and find the right heel with the left hand. got a bound version of Parivriti Janu Sirsasana. One or two more deep breaths. And then wherever we're at with this, we unwind, we roll to the torso, to the floor, close down the chest, and then bring ourselves back up. If we swapped the leg, then just gently, carefully bring that foot back. I'm going to swap sides, okay? Massage the knees if you need. So I'm putting in extras this week. Please listen to your body. So either Janu Sirsasana, any doubts, Janu Sirsasana all the way. It's brilliant. But if you're working with half lotus, close the knee joint fully, moving the calf out the way if you need. Holding that right foot, we kind of swing the hip in. It's coming from the hip, and that swings the foot high onto the right thigh towards the hip crease. And we just look, I'm tighter on this side, so my knee is higher, so I know I need to be more careful as I go forward on this side. We can possibly find the bind. So if the knee is lifted, we're probably just going to stay upright, working with half lotus. Only if it feels okay do we come forward. So Janu Sirsasana or half lotus, just really feel that left knee and only come forward if it's not complaining. Breathing deep. Keep the right leg active, especially if you're in half lotus. You've really got to sometimes work to make sure the toes stay up towards the ceiling because the left foot's kind of pushing it outwards. And then inhale to come up. Release the left foot back to the Janu Sirsasana position if you took half lotus. Left hand comes down behind you into the center of the mat, fingers pointing back. Press through the left hand, lift the hips, press down through the right foot, open the chest to the ceiling and just breathe expansively into your front body. And then slowly lower the hips down using your hand as you breathe and spiral your way back to face the front, but then keep going. So the left hand comes to the outside of the right foot or leg, right hand behind you or wrapped around to find your left thigh. Lovely detoxifying twist. Keep the navel drawing in, breathing deep. And then inhale, unwind, come back to the center. So at this point, you've got that option to lean to the right a little bit so you can swap the foot position. So you're on the top of the foot with the heel behind your left buttock. You're not sitting on the heel. Otherwise, Janu Sirsasana, you can, if you think you might take this bind, you could set it up from the start, sliding the right arm underneath the left leg to find the heel, opening the chest to the ceiling and bringing that left arm forward towards the foot. Otherwise, right hand's on the shin or the thigh, revolve, drop the left shoulder back, lift the chest to the ceiling, and then bring the left hand up and over. So it's really about opening as much of the body to the ceiling as possible here. Keep that right foot active and alive. Deep breaths, one more deep breath. And then slowly we look to the floor, so unwind, unrevolve first, then bring the hands back in, lean to the right to release the foot if you change position, bring it back round, massage the knees. Just take a moment here, I'm just going to check the time. Okay, so just before we come down to the floor, let's just take a wide leg seated position. Again, we're opening the energy channels, so detoxifying in that way. So we can inhale, stretch the arms up if available, or keep them on the floor behind you if you need. And then bring the hands in front of you, start to walk the hands forward and just really tune into this inner seam of the leg, the kidney meridian, a real strong energy channel, and just feel this as this detoxifying, moving stagnant energy. So really being kind of acutely aware of the points in your body that feel stuck or stagnant or tight or resistant. And without forcing, just really moving into that edge with your breath, with your attentive, loving awareness. There's always a sense of softening into the edges with expansive breath.
curious, attentive awareness. Deep breaths. And then slowly bringing the hands back up. Taking the hands behind the knees, just drawing everything in, centering, grounding for a moment. Make yourself small. Come back to your center. Drop the head. Feel your feet on the floor. Breathe into your pelvic bowl area. We're just going to come down onto our backs via one boat, but we're going to do a twisting boat. Okay, Parivriti Navasana. So that we work with this. It's a very detoxifying variation, this. So bending the knees, having the toes on the floor, reaching the hands forward. Lean back, bring the feet off the floor. This might be as far as you go, but we're going to bring the palms together. Or you bring the feet up in line with the knees or straighten the legs. So palms touch. You can even interlace the fingers and just extend the first finger. Inhale here. Exhale, take the hands over to the right, lifting out to the low back for 3, 2, 1. Inhale back to the center. Exhale over to the left, twisting for 3, 2, 1. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, shallow boat. Keep the shoulders and the heels off for 3, 2, and 1. Release. Let go. Maybe bend the knees. Plant the feet on the floor consciously. Take the hands onto the belly. Or maybe a constructive rest posture might feel good at this point, because we know we relax the deep abdominals and the psoas in constructive rest. So feet wide as the mat. Inner knees touch. Hands can be on the belly, and you can feel the softness of the belly and the psoas in this position beneath the hands. And just take a few relaxing belly breaths after the boat. And we're going to open up the front body. So when you're ready, bringing the heels into the buttocks, hip distance apart, take the palms down, and just for added opening detox, I'm going to invite you to bring the arms up and over as you come up. So pressing through the hands and the feet, inhale, lift the hips, and at the same time lift the hands, bring them all the way back till the backs of the hands come down onto the floor behind you, arms facing the ceiling. Just take some big, expansive opening breaths into the front body here, front of the hips. And then as you exhale, lowering the hips and lowering the hands at the same time. So bringing the hands back up and lowering them down. So the hands and the hips come down more or less at the same time. Move the shoulders back if you need, move the feet forward if you need, and just breathe into the low back. We're just going to keep the left leg bent and stretch the right foot up to the ceiling. If you happen to have a strap handy, you could take it around the foot at this point. Or you can just interlace your hands around the back of the right thigh. So flexing the right foot, just getting a release into the hamstring and the lower back here. If you wish, after a breath or so, you could extend that left leg and feel the difference. You may, if you're more open, have the foot without a strap, just doing what feels easily accessible here. And then holding the outside of the leg or the outside of the foot, just take the foot out to the right for a moment, just for a few breaths. So it could be that you're just supporting the outer leg in your hand with the elbow on the floor. You could be using a strap. You could have the foot. Find your core, inhale the leg back to the center, bend the knee, hug the knee into the chest, and if possible, extend that left leg away, toes to the ceiling for a psoas stretch. You can even reach the left arm back, so you just hold the right knee with the right hand. Then you get a long stretch from left heel to left fingertips. Just breathe into that left side. Big breaths. And then release.
Start with the right knee bent. Check you're centrally aligned. Take the left leg up to the ceiling. Interlace the hands around the back of the thigh, or take the foot or the shin or a strap. So just a few breaths with the right knee bent first. Somehow I feel it a nicer relief straight after we're back bend to have the knee bent first. It's more opening for the low back. But then after a few breaths, if you wish, you can then extend the right leg, but just feel how it shifts the sensations in the low back. Perhaps a little bit more compression, pinching, contraction feeling. But still a great hamstring release here. And then we can use the left hand as a support on that outer leg, or with the strap, holding both ends of the strap with the left hand, or if you've got the foot, just hold the foot, but we're letting the left leg come out to the left now. Bending the knee if we need. Getting that again, the stretch in the inner seam of the leg. Find your core, inhale the leg back to the center, release the strap if you have it, bend the knee, hug the knee into the chest, and if available, extend the right leg out if you haven't already, toes to the ceiling. Maybe release the right hand back. So again, we get that long stretch. We're pushing forward through the right heel, reaching back through the right fingertips, breathing into that long right side. And then release. Bring the left foot to the floor. Bring the outer right ankle onto the front of the left thigh. And either stay here or pick up the left foot and thread the needle, taking the right hand through the little gap under the right shin or calf, and the left hand around the outside. And you can hold the back of the left knee or the front of the left shin. We can circle that left ankle while we're here, just to keep this foot focus. A few times in each direction. Keep the right foot actively flexed. So foot focus. And then we can release after a few slow, deep breaths. We can release that left foot back to the floor. Keep that right foot actively flexed. Let the left knee just drop out to the left until the sole of the right foot comes to meet the floor. Right knee's pointing up to the ceiling. Extend your right arm away. Maybe look over the right shoulder. And just take some lovely releasing breaths. So we're not forgetting our shoulder focus here. So relaxing around that right shoulder as we open around hips and lower back with our breath. Shoulders, hips, lower back. This posture gets all of it. Drawing lower belly in, come back to the center. Release the right foot, just bring yourself back to central alignment if you're at all off. And then flex the left foot, take the outer left ankle onto the front of the right thigh. Maybe just right foot stays on the floor, otherwise thread the needle, pick up the right foot, feed the left hand through the little gap, right hand around the outside, holding the back of the knee or the front of the shin. And we can circle the right ankle a few times in each direction, just to mobilize the ankle and the foot, and then come to stillness, taking a couple more really nice slow deep breaths into the lower back and hip here. And then releasing that right foot to the floor. Keep that left foot actively flexed as we allow the right foot to drop out to the right. Open up the arms. You can press the left leg away with the right hand if you wish. But just releasing, looking over left shoulder maybe, and just releasing around that left shoulder. Feeling the stretch around the left belly, lower back and hip. Just really use your breath to expand into this shape. Soften the shoulder, the chest. And then find your core as you inhale, roll back to the center, release the foot. So we've just got a few minutes for an inversion. So if you have a block, you could just slide it under your sacrum and extend the legs into the air. Or if you don't have a block, you could take your hands under your buttocks, palms down, and extend the legs up into the air. You could take a shoulder stand or a headstand for about 10 breaths, or a plow. So just giving you a bit of space. If in doubt, just do what I'm doing here, hands or block underneath the buttocks or sacrum. So I'm on my moon time, so I'm not going to do it, but just giving you that space. Ideally 10 slow, deep breaths. When you feel complete, just coming down in your own time with control. If you've got both legs extended up to the ceiling, you can choose to single leg or double leg lower. Listen to your lower back. And just before we come down finally for Shavasana, I'd like us to just briefly come up to seated again. So if you've been in shoulder stand, you might just want to do a little fish where we extend the legs out, elbows into the side, dropping the head back just for a few breaths, as I'm showing here. And to come out, carefully bringing the chin back to the chest. And instead of coming down onto the floor, use our hands to support us to come back up to seated. And we're just going to do 10 slow, deep Ujjayi breaths. Ujjayi breath is a really detoxifying breath. If you don't know it, just do really conscious breathing through the nose. But for Ujjayi, we're constricting the glottis, the throat muscles, to create that audible quality. And we want to feel it like we're drawing up the sludge from the base of the body and bringing it up and out and drawing in nourishment. It's a real like sense of coming from the base of the body, up the body, and exhaling back down. So just if you haven't started already, just beginning a practice of Ujjayi breath or slow deep breaths. And we'll just go for, well, at least 10. I'm not going to put a number on it. I'll just say when the practice is, when it's time to come down. But hopefully at least 10. Slower the better. And at the end of your next exhale, we're going to complete this practice. One final little detox challenge. If you know lotus and it's comfortable for you, you could drop into lotus at this point. Otherwise, we're crossing the ankles. We're going to have the hands either side of the hips and we're going to lift up. So if we're in lotus, it might even be that we lift everything up, okay? This is, if we've got the ankles crossed, hands by the side, we use our core and we just lift the buttocks. We're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. It's that final burst of energy. And then we can either just flop straight into Shavasana, or if you feel you just need a little knees to chest or happy baby or anything like that, then just intuit that. But the idea of that final burst of energy, I can't quite remember the name of the posture, but it's the last thing you do in Ashtanga sequence before Shavasana. And the Shavasana feels very sweet to go straight into it after that. So when you're, as soon as you're ready, just dropping into Shavasana to receive the fruits of this grounding, centering, and detoxifying class this evening. So nice, good 4-minute Shavasana here. Just heavying the body. Maybe scanning the body, releasing any held tension remaining. Slacken the jaw, broaden the tongue, relax the eyeballs in their sockets. Soften the belly. Receive.
You have longer, feel free to stay in Shavasana for longer. You're closing with me at the end of the class. Start to deepen your breath. Start to move the body, maybe stretch a bit. Just gradually finding your way back to seated. And just bringing your hands together to seal the practice in with gratitude, maybe closing the eyes. Just take that moment to consciously close this space. Acknowledge the practice with gratitude yourself for turning up tonight, your amazing body, anything else you're grateful for. And taking this energy away with you for the rest of your day. Just opening the eyes if they're closed. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste. And I'll see you soon.